It is disturbing. I will not say you just simply ignore it. It is disturbing
Yeah.
for some time because you don't want people to talk. People can criticize your work if they don't like. But if
Yeah.
somebody is going to get personal and say something
Yeah.
uncalled for, then it is disturbing because after all, you're a human being, right? And but then at some point after, like you calm down or you tell your mind that this is probably what their mindset is, and you wish them all the best and get well soon,
Yeah.
and God bless them.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to keepingmoon.com. I'm Rashita Sani, and today joining me for a super interesting conversation is Arjun Bajwa, who's all set to impress us all with bestseller. Hi, Arjun. How have you been?
I'm good, Rashita. Thank you for having me over.
You're most welcome. Arjun, when I first watched the trailer, I was really intrigued. I was just speaking to Gohar also about the same thing, that how I wanted to know more and more about each and every character. Now, I'm sure when you first heard the script or when the role was offered to you, your reaction would have been the same. What prompted you to be a part of bestseller?
I think the story on the whole was so intriguing and interesting.
Yeah.
And like you said, you wanted to know more about the characters, everybody, what they were doing. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's a long script. I've been saying it was a 450-page script
Oh,
which is almost like 4 films.
yeah.
So reading through it, it just did not let you be relaxed even for one moment. Even at a script level, when you were reading it, it was going on and on, so pacey and so edgy that not just reading about my role as to what I will be doing or what is other people doing. The whole story was so nicely written that obviously this was something that I was always waiting for or looking forward to do. This kind of a script, and of course the story of Tahir Wazir and how he goes through what he goes through is something that you should be enjoying when you see this final series.
I'm sure I will, and everyone else will as well. But talking about Tahir Wazir, now he's the one the story really revolves around, and things are happening with him, around him. Now, when you play a strong and a layered, a complex character like that, firstly, the part one of question is what is your approach like, and secondly, is does it become challenging to detach yourself from that character?
A layered character is every actor's dream, to be honest,
Yeah.
because if it's a linear character, you will be bored yourself as to what you're doing. You will probably
Mm.
mechanically be just saying lines, and a layered
Yeah.
character challenges you as an actor, of course, because you're not stagnant in your approach towards it, and every scene requires you to do something else. Everything that is so contrasting from each other. So that's a very, very good challenge for an actor. At the same time, it's the excitement that you have, which is there in this series more so, because
Yeah.
every visual is different from the previous scene if you count it. And
Correct.
I guess that's the thing you have to kind of tell your mind, tune your mind, and train your mind not to take everything back with you, or like the moment you are out of the character, just switch it off. And even during the shoot also, what we would do is, Rajita, that if you did something very aggressive, very
Yeah.
intense, if you're screaming in a scene or something very, very emotional is happening, the next moment you would probably just go out and have a cup of tea. Because if you keep in that zone,
Yeah.
then even being too much in that zone will affect your performance.
Of course.
Because then you will be so stagnated in your approach that you have to kind of keep giving yourself breaks. And that's what we did. And finally, when backup would happen, we would completely give ourselves breaks and disconnect with what you've done today. Disconnect just to refresh your mind, not disconnect from your story.
Of course. Okay. Having said that, of course, bestseller is this nail-biting psychological thriller. Now, a lot of times I've heard makers and directors say that thrillers are really hard to make because you have to keep the audiences hooked onto their screens or the movie theaters or wherever they're watching it. Now, what do you, according to you, think will work the best for bestseller and make the audiences sort of be on the edge of their seats all the time?
It is a very, very intriguing story. It's a very edgy
Yeah.
thriller because the characters are not what they seem. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of thrill element that will come in that. Well, when revelations happen about what they have been through or what they're doing, their past, present, future, That will be something, because it's very unpredictable at every moment. And even though the predictions are in front of you, still now you want to know what exactly happened. Why is this thing? Even if you give the little bit of story plot in front of the audience at some point in the series, then they want to know how it must have happened. So
Yeah.
that's a really good part about this story. And I'm sure it will keep the audience very, very engaged and at the edge of their seat. And I hope and I wish that they get glued to the screen and they don't leave watching. They binge watch it.
I'm sure they will. And of course, talking about your character, they say that you call yourself wannabe Chetan Bhagat. Now, in real life, do you also, like to write, or is there an interest in writing? Because a lot of actors do want to at some point write or, direct a show or a film.
Writing definitely has not really crossed my mind yet.
Okay.
I want to put certain things in on the paper for sure. There
Yeah.
are a few stories in my mind that I want to kind of show, but it has not come to that point yet. Direction, I think, requires a lot of training, lot of guts, lot of. A director's job is not to just to direct a scene. It's an overall picture that he has seen from the first frame to the last. So that does require a lot of experience. I think I'm happy being an actor right now, being the director's actor right now.
Yeah.
And if at some point I can give in my input to something creative, I will be more than happy.
Okay, fantastic. And of course, bestseller is also a multi-starrer now. There were, maybe 10 years back or 15 years back, actors were not, really keen on doing multi-starrers. I have heard a lot of people say that uh, एक हीरो होता है, एक हीरोइन होती है. That entire concept now has changed. There is, you can have several brilliant actors in one frame and make it look like a proper teamwork without having, one hero or one heroine. Now, how do you feel about working in multi-starrers, and how secure do you feel as an actor when you are a part of it?
Films cannot be made with one hero and heroine ever. It has always
Definitely.
been multi-starrers. It has always been. The perception at that time used to be that. Even now, many a times people say the show is being headlined by Arjun Bajwa and Shruti Hassan. So it quintessentially you become like the lead of
Yeah.
the series. But then you have a brilliant star cast, and you have a superstar like Mithun Chakravarti sir with us. That's always been the case. I mean, earlier also when films were made, there used to be a lot of people who would be involved. Somebody's playing a negative role, and they were accomplished actors in their own way. It was never
Correct.
it was never one hero heroine who could make the film. So even now it's the
Definitely.
same thing, and I think it's a collective effort, and you're always secured because you know your part, you know what you're doing. Until the time an actor is satisfied and okay with what he is doing, and he is happy with the way things are going for him, there's no insecurity as such. What happens is sometimes that you expect certain things to be turning out fine in the final product a certain way.
Okay.
If that doesn't happen, then obviously there is a little bit of anxiety builds up, because overall it's a visual medium. People wouldn't know what you did behind the camera. People wouldn't know what happened on the shoot, whether you shot something good or not. Ultimately, what they will see is what they will perceive of you. So in that respect, I think I'm very okay with working with so many good actors around, because that's what the collective effort, like I said, will make a product good, and not just one person.
Of course, agreed completely. And of course, how was it sharing screen space with Mikunda again? I think you have shared it with him in
Yes.
a project called Guru. Yeah, I read it.
Yeah.
So how was it reunited with him?
Very good, very good. Reuniting this time was actually the union, because we happened to be in the same film, but we did not shoot much or interact much. But this time, actually, the ice broke, and we started talking to each other and learning about his experiences in life and experiences in the film world, and how he started and what all he has been through so many times, and the number of films he has done, over 300. So that's quite a large body of work, which really, really excites you, enamors you, at the same time surprises you. And you learn from them to be more than a good actor, to be a good human being, to survive this long. And I want to imbibe all the qualities that I learned from him.
Fantastic. And Arjun, of course, we see in the trailer that there is this, person who's hiding behind your name on social media and spreading sort of hatred. Now that I'm sure as an actor you face in real life as well. How do you deal with that?
It is disturbing. I will not say you just simply ignore it. It is disturbing
Yeah.
for some time because you don't want people to talk. People can criticize your work if they don't like. But if
Yeah.
somebody's going to get personal and say something
Yeah.
uncalled for, then it is disturbing because after all, you're a human being, right? And but then at some point after, like, you calm down or you tell your mind that this is probably what their mindset is, and you wish them all the best and get well soon,
Yeah.
and God bless them.
I know. That's the best way to do it today.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, talking about your career, you started off in the South industry, then you did Bollywood. Now we are seeing you doing web shows. Now, after so many years, have you gotten any comfort zone, or are you like okay with working for any medium?
There's no difference for an actor between web or films. There is
Okay.
no difference at all. The filmmaking process is exactly the same. And for an actor, if you're shooting a film, if you're shooting a web series, it's the same process. So I'm glad to be part of great stories, be
Yeah.
it films and be it OTT web shows. And fortunately, all the films that I have done, so many of them are complete bona fide blockbuster hits. And now my last series, or the first series rather, Street of
Yeah.
Thieves 2611, also got so much of acclaim from all across.
I
I
know.
just hope and wish to be part of such beautiful stories, and I would like to, believe that the audience gives equal amount of love and affection to bestseller as well.
I'm sure they will. I'm actually looking forward to watching it. Thank you so much, Arjun, for joining in. All the very best for bestseller.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Bye.